Hi everyone, Dr. Brittany Campbell here with the National Pest Management Association. I am an entomologist at NPMA and it is Termite Awareness Week. So in order to observe this holiday, annual event, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the signs of termites, some of the damage that termites can cause, and what you can do to prevent termites around your home. Now, in nature, termites are incredibly important creatures, right? They break down plants, they break down trees, and they take those nutrients from these plants outdoors and they put them back into the soil. However, termites become an issue when they are a pest in our homes. So while they do great stuff, we love them when they're outside, once they get into our houses, this is when they become a serious pest. And of course now it's almost spring, so termites are going to become super active as the temperatures increase, as it becomes sunny outside. So this is really prime time for you to start looking for termites and learning a little bit about some of the signs of a termite infestation, because termites unfortunately cause $5 billion worth of damage every year to homes in the United States. So it's really important pests that we really need to look out for. Now, if you do have questions, any burning termite questions, as I talk a little bit about termites, do please make sure to drop those below, and I'll be sure, my team and I will be sure to answer any questions that you may have regarding termites. Now, as the ground begins to warm during springtime, in the deep south all the way up north, these termites, of course, are going to become more active. They'll start swarming and emerging out of their colonies. And so as these termites swarm, they're looking for mates, they're looking for new nesting sites, and unfortunately, some of those nesting sites will end up being our houses. So it's very important also, if your home, if you've had some significant rain events lately, or unfortunately had a ton of snow melt, and you've had any water damage around your house, this can really cause your home to be super attractive to termites. They love wet wood, they love damaged wood that they can easily tunnel through and feed on. So if you've had any water damage recently to your home, you definitely want to make sure that you are looking out for termites and inspecting your home thoroughly. And you may think, really, how much damage can a single termite do? A tiny little termite, how much damage can these guys or gals actually do to my home? Well, it's not really the single termite, the one termite that you have to worry about. It's when you have a combination, a group, an entire colony of these termites. So you have hundreds of thousands of termites potentially feeding. This is what we have to worry about. So for instance, we have Formosan subterranean termites in the United States, and they can eat about 31 grams of wood per day. What that means is, if we do a bit of math, do a little bit of extrapolation, they can eat up to a foot of a 2x4 in 25 days. So in less than a month, a mature colony of subterranean termites, the Formosans, can eat this much wood in your home. So you can see how quickly, if they're eating that much wood, this is what the wood typically looks like behind the walls of your home, where these silent termites are eating away. You can see how much damage they cause. So if you take the same piece of wood and termites get into it, this is what you're looking at, right? They begin to feed through the home. They tunnel through the wood, so this wood's no longer solid. They're feeding on this wood, hollowing it out. So this wood, it's hard to tell, but it's almost like paper thin now. And if you allow those termites to continue doing this type of damage, it can really cause some serious structural issues to your home. So this is what you're looking for. You can actually see some of the mud here. So subterranean termites, as they crawl around inside of homes, they have this really high moisture requirement, right? They need a lot of water, so this is why they're underground in the mud, but they'll actually take that mud and put it into the tunnels to help them stay moisturized. It's like they're protecting themselves, creating creating these mud tubes, these mud tunnels. So this is what that termite damage will look like if it goes unchecked. Now, in the United States, when we're talking about termites, the main species that I'm really going to discuss are the subterranean underground termites, but there are a few other termite species that you could potentially come across in the United States. So aside from just those underground subterranean termites, we have something called dampwood termites, and as the name suggests, they like really wet wood, really damp wood. So they're not quite as much of an issue. As long as you get the moisture issue under check, you can kind of control those termites typically. Still may need some help with the dampwood termites. And if you live in areas of the country that are really dry and arid, you may also have drywood termites that you could come across. And as their name suggests, drywood termites don't need a ton of moisture. They're not going to create those mud tubes I just showed you. They actually can live in pieces of furniture just fine without moisture. So if you do come across some drywood termites, if you happen to have some furniture that's potentially infested, you're not seeing the soil, then you could be dealing with drywood termites. So multiple species, but the most destructive species we're really talking about are those hidden subterranean termites that get behind the wall and eat our wood that we typically can't see. And when we're talking about you may ask, why do termites eat wood? Well, it's not a super common thing. Termites really like and need cellulose. And so cellulose is the organic compound inside of wood that termites can digest. And interestingly, if you're super interested, termites can eat also, they've been found to eat books, money, and other items that have cellulose. We have some really cool videos called Will They Eat It? So will they actually eat a book? Will they eat money? The answer is yes, because that organic cellulose is inside those components. So if you're interested, go watch those super fun videos. The link is down below, shared with you. Now, I mentioned some of the signs of termites. So let's talk about 5 signs, 5 things that you should look out for as temperatures warm up to take advantage of the beautiful weather. Take a walk around your house. So first, take a look for the swarmers that I mentioned. The swarmers are the reproductives. So they swarm out, they leave a colony to go mate and reproduce. So this is what the swarmers look like here. And you can see the swarmers have wings, right? So this is an entire group of swarming termites. You may think, oh, these look a little bit like ants. Yes, they do. So they are commonly confused with ants. But if you're seeing a lot of swarmers, a lot of termites with wings potentially outside, and not only outside, swarmers can also be inside. If you had an infestation you weren't aware of, swarmers will emerge inside of the house too. So that's certainly an indication you may have termites inside of your home. And sometimes you may not even see the entire insect. I know this is going to be maybe a little bit difficult to see, but here, actually the swarmers will actually drop their wings after they mate to go to a nesting site. So here what you're looking at, you can see some of the dirt. Another indication that there's termites here that's probably dropped from wherever the swarmers came out of inside the house, but they'll actually shed their wings. So if you see a lot of shed wings around a window frame and around the house, these shed wings are another indicator that you could potentially have termites inside of the home. Another sign of termites are the mud tubes. So I talked a little bit about the mud tubes, and I showed you what that mud looked like inside the tunnels. But here is a mud tube inside of a house. So you can see this is kind of far away, but this is in, the corner of a home. This mud tube's actually been broken open, so there's some termites you can barely see that are poking their heads out some soldiers trying to protect this tunnel, but they'll create these mud tubes to tunnel safely to protect themselves from drying out in the wood here. So a big indicator, you're seeing the wood, and this is indoors, but you're also going to want to look for those mud tubes outside as well. So the termites will form these mud tubes on the foundation, on the wooden members in your crawl space, so you definitely want to look out for mud tubes. And another sign of a termite infestation is wood damage. So here, this is from the same house, but if you crack open this damaged wood, you can actually see this wood is completely hollowed out, right? And you can almost see a little bit of bubbling here underneath the paint. That's because the termites came in, they brought in a ton of moisture, they're causing the paint to bubble. This wood's hollowed out, so before you even break open the wood to see the damage, you can actually see this bubbling paint. That would be an indicator that, ooh, I have some wood damage here, potentially termites, better check this out. And last but not least, for drywood termites, one of the biggest indicators may be their frass. So their poo essentially is wooden colored. They create these little wooden pellets. So again, these termites are going to be well hidden inside of furniture or whatever they have infested, but they'll actually push out their frass, and you'll see little pieces of wood potentially piling up on the floor. So that would be an indicator of dry wood termites. So if you come across any of these signs, then you definitely need to have an inspection for any termite damage. Now, if you do see termite damage, there are ways that you can try to prevent termites, hopefully before you see that type of damage, but also, to try to make your home less termite friendly. So you certainly want to do an inspection around your home. Look for all those things that I just showed you. Look for the swarmers. Take advantage of the nice temperature, walk around your home, really focus on the foundation. You don't want to have a ton of cracks in your foundation, because those tiny cracks termites will use to actually enter through your home. So look for cracks, be sure to repair cracks. Definitely check out moisture if you have your window frames, door frames, any damage from moisture, then you want to replace that wood, get it fixed before termites infest the wood. And you also want to make sure that you're doing moisture management around your home. So make sure that your gutters aren't clogged, that water is draining appropriately away from the foundation so you don't have a buildup of moisture that can really be super attractive to termites. Another thing that you'll want to do, and not only will it make your home look great, is to also go around and cut back the bushes. So if you have bushes, trees against your house that are actually touching the siding of your home, termites can actually crawl up that and gain entry into your house. So not only termites, these are cutting back branches and trees is great to prevent other pests from gaining entry. So do a little bit of landscaping to try to prevent any of those plants from directly touching the side of your house. And it is warming up right now, but if you do have firewood around the house, also be sure to store that firewood about 20 feet away from the home. If you're storing the firewood up against your house, this can give termites easy entry into the home as well. So be aware of where you're keeping your firewood and making sure that you give plenty of space away from the house to keep the termites out. And termites are an incredibly, expensive pest if you do get them. They can be expensive if they cause a lot of damage. So I certainly encourage you, if you are having termite issues, to reach out to a licensed pest control professional. They're going to be the best way to really get termites under control. They have extensive knowledge. They'll be able to do a thorough inspection, help you with all of the issues that you could potentially be dealing with termites, as well as preventative tips that I mentioned. They can walk around, inspect your home, and help you with some of the prevention that I mentioned. And now if you found this super informative and you're looking for other videos to watch, again, be sure to check the links below to watch Will They Eat It, as well as our tiny termite house project. Super cool project. We took 500,000 termites and we dumped them into some soil around a built-to-scale model home. Completely looks like a real house built to scale, and then we watched the damage that these termites did to the house. They buckled the wooden floors where they fed on the wooden floor members, brought in a ton of moisture. They actually fed on the structural timbers inside the walls. So be sure to check out that video so you can see the kind of damage termites can cause on a smaller scale, but what they could be potentially doing also to our homes. So thank you all for joining me today. Hope this helps you all out as you're doing your termite inspections, and please stay safe.